Shalom, shalom, shalom. Before we even get started in this listen, first and foremost, I want to start by giving all praises and glory to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Rakah HaKadash. Secondly, I want to give double honors to the Elders Apostles and Elder Bishops of Great Millstone who rule well and worthy of double honors. And third and lastly, I want to give salutations to all the occupants of the hopeful elect that pushing forth this word and this truth and faithfully in righteousness and sincerity throughout the four corners. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Now I got a little time here, you know what I'm saying, before, you know what I'm saying, I get off my break here. I'm on a little break. So before I go back on the job, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and get a quick listen in real quick, and we're gonna be reading from Isaiah 33:6, man. All right, and that's pretty much pertaining to the elect of the nation of Israel, which are you so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, so-called Native Americans, to you so-called Hispanics. And your nationality is determined through the seed of your father. All right, pursuing back to Numbers 1 and 18. If you follow Great Millstone, you should know that already. And if you didn't know, now you know, man. All right, and the time that I'm referencing to, going into Isaiah 33:6, that's going into Jacob's trouble, man. All right, you know. So matter of fact, before I get Isaiah 33:6, let's mention Jacob's trouble. Let me grab that, man. Let me read that real quick, man. All right, before I even read Isaiah 33:6. This right here, Jeremiah 30:7, and it says, "At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it." So that right there, all the judgment that Yahawah brought upon this earth during the time of Noah, right, flooding the earth, Sodom and Gomorrah, where he burnt, you know what I'm saying, all them wicked niggas up there in Sodom and Gomorrah, you know what I'm saying, in the 5 neighboring cities, you know what I'm saying, burn it with fire, split the atom and burnt with fire because of all the wickedness and transgressions of their rainbow activity, in which you're seeing what's going on in Babylon today, what they uphold or what they you know what I'm saying, they exalt today or whatnot. Every chance you get, they pushing that rainbow agenda all in your damn face. But nevertheless, this place is gonna get it worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. But ultimately, that was judgment of Yahawah, Sodom and Gomorrah. Hey, Yahawah flooding, you know what I'm saying, drowning rather, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, Pharaoh and his mighty men, all right, delivering the children of Israel from the hands of Pharaoh and his army. You know what I'm saying? All that was great judgment, man. Hey, when Yahawah came on the scene 2,000 years ago, and Herod, punk ass, you know what I'm saying, put out a decree to kill all the Hebrew Israelite males 2 and under in Jerusalem, all right, that wasn't a horrible time, man. All right, 70 AD, that wasn't a horrible time. That's judgment of Yahawah right there, man. You know what I'm saying? Hell, slavery, you know what I'm saying? The tribes, man, we caught hell and still catching hell, man. All right, you know what I'm saying? During the time of the Atlantic slave trade, all right, you know, and all that was judgment of Yahawah, man. All right, you may say, oh, God don't do, God wouldn't do that, God don't do this, God don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Satan killed, you know what I'm saying? Satan bring death on this earth, man. No, that's not God, you know what I'm saying? God don't do that. Isaiah 45:7, let's go in the scriptures, man. I form the light and create darkness. Woo, okay? All right, that's a power you're supposed to fear, man. That's why you're supposed to fear Yahawah. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, Yahawah, do all these things. All judgment comes down from Yahawah at the end of the day. Life and death, you know what I'm saying? The issues of life and death belong to Yahawah, man. All right? Point blank, man, period. Going back to Jeremiah 30:7. At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even a time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it, man. All right, so it's gonna be trouble like never ever before, man. That's why Isaiah 33:6, when all these hell, all these judgment, all this great death, Yahawah gonna be bringing upon this earth. That's why the elect, man, is gonna be. Let me just read the scriptures. All right, I ain't gotta say anything. Let scripture speak. Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord, Yahawah, is his treasure. Yeah, because the beginning of knowledge, you know what I'm saying, is fear of Yahawah, pursuing back to Proverbs 1:7, man. All right, you know. So the stability is going to be in the words, all right, and keeping the words of Yahawah and applying the words of Yahawah, doing what we commanded to do. referring to the elect, man, coming out of this motherfucking world, man. All right, not having the mentality and the mindset of this world, not trusting Egypt, having all our faith and trust in Yahawashi and walking in the spirit of Yahawashi, man, at the end of the day or whatnot, man. If you fall short, you get your ass back up, man. All right, you know, you keep the fucking walking, man. Keep walking, man. All right, you know what I'm saying, you know? All right, don't let your inequity, all right, stack itself up, man, at the end of the day, man. All right, you know, so you're supposed to be mindful, not being a reprobate, all right, and continuing to what? Examine ourselves daily, man. I'm talking to my damn self first, man. Got to examine yourself daily, making sure you're moving in the spirit of Yahawashi, man. All right, making sure you're not moving in the spirit of these niggas that's in the fucking world, man. All right, being all lackadaisical, all right, not looking for the day of the Lord, all right, being, you know what I'm saying, being complacent, all right. Scripture tell you not to be a slothful servant. All right, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be diligent in doing the work of Yahawashi at the end of the day or whatnot. All right, you don't supposed to put the day of the Lord off at the end of the day, man. All right, you know, Yahawashi, we know through prophecy, we know that, you know what I'm saying, you know, certain prophecies got to happen before Yahawashi have to come back, you know what I'm saying, before he returned. But nevertheless, we're supposed to be getting ourselves prepared for that day. So when that Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation, you know what I'm saying, when the Most High manifests that time, which we right in, man. We coming right into the Jacob's trouble, hour of temptation. It's right there around the corner. All right, you want that protective hedge of Yahawashi, man. All right, period, bro. All right, and we understand, you know what I'm saying, Yahawashi is going to put the wrath, and going to use his wrath on Esau on the left-hand side, man. All right, you know what I'm saying, when this devil know that his time is short, when he's trying to implement his one world order, and which he's going, most I gonna let him get, you know what I'm saying, get it started off. He gonna start off his one world order, all right, you know what I'm saying, he gonna kick it off, rather. He gonna kick it off, all right, but this devil's not gonna be able to fully establish his one world order, man. All right, okay, because this devil mentality, his mindset is to destroy Israel as a nation, which he would not be able to fucking do. All right, so when he come after the elect, in which he is, all right, that's when Yahawashi gonna raise that standard on his ass, man. That's why King David said this prayer. And even those brothers that have to be martyrs, all right, for Yahawashi sake, for the gospel's sake, at the end of the day, our works is gonna follow us at the end of the day, man. All right, so nobody in Yahawashi is doing the work, right, in vain at the end of the day, man. If you do the work to the end, you're going to be rewarded at the end of the day, even unto death. We have to be faithful even unto death, man. All right, to receive that crown, man. All right, going back to Revelation 2:10. And that's just certain members of the elect. That's not all of the elect, man. That's not all the members of the elect. Certain members of the elect are going to be martyrs, man. But you're going to have certain brothers, they're not going to be martyrs. They're going to see it all the way through, man. All right, at the end of the day. All right, but nevertheless, whether you be a martyr, all right, or you see it all the way through, you're still going to get your reward, man, from Yahawashi if you remain faithful, if you endure until the end at the end of the day, man. That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. All right, Psalm 17:13. It says, "Arise, O Lord, Yahawashi." And this is Psalms from King David right here. Psalm 17:13. "Arise, O Lord, Yahawashi, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." So the wicked, which is Esau, the third category of man, all right, you know what I'm saying, that's the sword of Yahawashi on the left hand side, and Yahawashi is going to use Esau on the left hand side to bring judgment upon you 2/3, man, upon you goddamn non-believers, you gainsayers out there, you niggas that trust in goddamn fucking Egypt at the end of the damn day, man. All right, that Egypt gonna be to your shame ultimately at the end of the day, man. All right, now going back, let me read one more time, Isaiah 33:6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord, Yahawashi, is his treasure." So the wisdom and knowledge, understanding of knowing all the prophecies, all right, you know what I'm saying, that have to take place before the return of our Lord, man. All right, Yahawashi, man, before he deliver his very elect, we know we got to go through that fiery trial, man. Period, bro. End of story. All right, ain't no ifs, ands, buts about that, man. All right, going back to 1 Peter's, all right, and we understand everything that we going through. Hey, we know Yahawashi, all right, you know what I'm saying, ain't gonna give us more than what we can bear at the end of the day. All right, Yahawashi, like he said, is a just balance, so he ain't gonna put more on you than what you can bear at the end of the day, man. That's what we always have to keep in mind. All right, 1 Peter 4:12. Beloved, think it's not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened to you. There you go. So, you know what I'm saying? When we catching our hell, we understand why we catching our hell. We understand that we have to be purged. We understand that we have to be tried by Yahawashi to see what manner of man we are at the end of the day or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Do you have that, you know what I'm saying? Is your faith is built up the way you willing to lose your life to gain your life at the end of the day for Yahawashi's sake, man. All right, you know, you got to take on this. Going back to Romans 8th chapter, we have to take on what the sufferings of Mashiach. If you don't take on the sufferings of Mashiach, Yahawah, that means you're not of the Lord at the end of the day, man. That is going to separate the men from the boys at the end of the day, man. All right, let's continue on, man. All right, 1 Peter 4:13. But rejoice in as much as you are partakers of Mashiach's suffering, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceedingly joy. So we gotta be partakers of it, man. All right, you can't say you have Yahawashi, man. We all gotta have those battle scars, man. Gotta have those battle scars at the end of the day, man. All right, for you to be proven, man. All of us gonna be proven at the end of the day or whatnot, man. All right, you know, just like, you know, when you're trying to try out for football, basketball, what they call it, basketball trials, football trials at the end of the day or whatnot, man. You got to be tried. You got to be tried first, man, before you make the team at the end of the day. Ultimately, we're trying to make the team of what? Yahawashi at the end of the day, be of that elect. You know what I'm saying? So most High have to find us worthy, man. All right, you know, so how you gonna be found worthy unless you got to go through some trials, man? All right, you got to go through adversity. You got to go through temptation, man, to be proven at the end of the day, man. Ain't no getting around it, man. Ain't no getting around it. And like I said, that would separate the men from the boys. A lot of niggas don't want to suffer. Niggas want to have it easy, man. All right, but guess what? Suffering's coming anyway. All right, you know, so if you're gonna suffer, you know what I'm saying, you got to suffer for what? Yahawashi's sake at the end of the day, man. All right, going back to Romans 8:17. All right, matter of fact, start at verse 16. Romans 8:16, the Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahawashi, man, through prophecy, man. Going back to Deuteronomy 28:15 verses 15 on down to 68, verses 15 on down to 16, Deuteronomy 20th chapter, verses 15 to 68, going into what? The curses, man. All right, that's going to be upon Israel. And going back to Deuteronomy 28:46, it's going to be upon thy seed forever and forever, not for eternity, all right, but for age and age. That's how you gonna know who the children of Israel is, according to prophecy, according to the curses, man, at the end of the day. So it say through the Spirit, it bear witness that we are the children of Yahawashi. All right, prophecy tell you that, you know what I'm saying, Yahawashi gonna stir up the minds, you know what I'm saying, of his very elect, man. All right, he gonna stir up our pure remembrance. At one time, we once knew this, man. Going back to Jude, ain't number 1 chapter in Jude anyway, but Jude 1 and 5, man. All right, most High stirring up our pure remembrance, man. All right, going into this knowledge and understanding, knowing who we are, returning back, all right, to our heritage, pursuing back to Jeremiah 17:4, where we was gonna discontinue from our heritage, was one of the curses. All right, we gonna forget the name of Yahawashi. All right, you know what I'm saying? You know, we're gonna forget we the Hebrew Israelites. Right? Why? Because, you know what I'm saying, in hardcore slavery, what the Esau did, man. All right, you know, Yahawashi used Esau on the left hand side to whip our heritage out of us. They show you example of that in Roots, man. All right, going back to Kunta Kinte, where he refused to be called, when he went to his slave master, when he got captured, he refused to be called, you know what I'm saying, Toby, all right, which was Esau, you know, give him old American carpet name, and he refused to be called by the name until they whipped the shit out of Kunta, because Kunta was free. He was born free, but he went on them cargo slave ships over here from West Africa to the Americas. All right, you know what I'm saying? And that's Bible prophecy, Deuteronomy 28:68 through the Spirit. All right, you know what I'm saying? That happened to both tribes going on them cargo slave ships, because when Christopher Columbus came over here, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, came to expand all right, you know what I'm saying, you know, South America, what did that devil fucking do, man? All right, you know what I'm saying, the Taino Indians, those that he didn't slaughter or put in captivity, you know, he put in, you know what I'm saying, he took on them cargo slave ships, right? You know what I'm saying, and, you know, shipped them, and they got shipped back over there to Spain into captivity, man. All right, so the Northern Kingdom, you know what I'm saying, you know, they fulfill that prophecy. Ain't just the so-called Negro tribes fulfill that prophecy. The Southern Kingdom, the Northern Kingdom, you know what I'm saying, fulfill that prophecy, is going on them ships as well too, man, in slavery, man. Going back to Deuteronomy 28:68, man. All what is that showing you? that through prophecy we are the children of Israel. All right, you know, Israel being raised back up, going back to Revelation 11 and 11th, man. All right, those dead bodies that being raised back up at the end of the day or whatnot, man. All right, you know, so that, like I said, that those just many examples, you know what I'm saying, you know, of, you know, the show, you know what I'm saying, through the spirit, who the children of Israel is. The children of Israel is going to be the tail, not the head. We was going to be in slavery, we was going to be in captivity, we was going to be astonishment, a proverb, you know what I'm saying, amongst all nations at the end of the day. All right, you know what I'm saying, all these nations make mockery of Jake. They make mockery of you Negroes, which are, you know, tribe of Judah. All right, you know what I'm saying, Levi and Benjamin, man, so-called Haitians, so-called Jamaicans. All right, you know what I'm saying, which represent the Southern Kingdom. You know what I'm saying, they you know what they call you, they call you coons, they call us monkeys. All right, you know what I'm saying, you know, they call you jigaboos. You know, the Northern Kingdom, you know, with Taínos, you know what I'm saying, Indians, you know, the Puerto Ricans, what they call you Spanks. All right, called wetbacks at the end of the day or whatnot. All right, called gag, call you savages. All right, you know, so we would be a byword astonishment amongst all nations. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little Indians, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little Indians, which going into what? Genocide at the end of the day, all showing and proving we are the children of Israel. Why? Through the curses, man, at the end of the day. Romans 8 and 16, the spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahawah. And if children, then heirs of Yahawah, heirs of Yahawah, and joint heirs with Mashiach, if so be that we suffer with him. See, suffering, ain't no getting around that we may be also glorified together, man. There you have it or whatnot, man. All right, so you're gonna have to take on the sufferings, man. So the elect gonna know this. Isaiah 33 says we understand this, man. We know we sign up for, we count the cost, man, at the end of the day or whatnot, man. And we're willing to go through all that for Yahawah's sake. Not Yahawah, ain't nobody suffer like Yahawah, man. All right, you know what I'm saying? For us to have, you know what I'm saying, a chance at salvation. All right, you know what I'm saying, you know, for Yahawah to be that mediator to bring us back to Yahawah, you know, so without Yahawah getting on that cross, we wouldn't have opportunity of salvation, man. All right, you know, so somebody that's willing to die for you, you ain't willing to die for them, man. That's some sucker shit right there, man. All right, that's some sucker shit, man. At the end of the day, man, that's a mentality mindset you have to have, man. Hey, Yahawah did it for us, so why the hell you can't do it for Yahawah, man? For Yahawah's sake, man. At the end of the day, see, death gonna come regardless, though, man. All right, not all of us gonna see death, but hell, if you gotta die, the mentality mindset, man, I ain't trying to die in vain. I ain't trying to die with shame. I want to die with glory, die with honor at the end of the day or whatnot, because the dead of Yahawah gonna be raised first. The elect gonna know all of this, man. All right, you know what I'm saying? So we understand what we sign up for. All right, so wisdom and knowledge gonna be what our stability. So we're not gonna trip. We ain't gonna fucking bug out, man. That's another reason Isaiah 4 and 1, with 7 women shall claim the one man. Why they gonna claim the one man? Because them damn female women in that day and that time, they gonna know something different about these guys of the elect of Yahawah. All right, these guys who I want to be with. All right, they're not suffering like everybody else suffering and whatnot. They're calm, cool, and collected. That's who I want to be with, because a woman always looking for what? Security, protection at the end of the day, man. All right, that's why Isaiah 4 and 1 gonna come right in that hand, man. And you seen it happen slowly but surely. All right, but even more so in that day and that time, man. All right, because woman gonna want that cover in that day and that time. It ain't gonna be about how much money you got, how you gotta be 6'5" and shit. You know, you gotta have 6 figures in your bank account. None of that shit, all that shit gonna be fucking obsolete, man. All right, and that day and that time is coming. Jacob's trouble, our temptation. All right, is Yahawah dealing with you? That's what they gonna want to know. All right, that's who they gonna want to be with. Those men, they gonna humble themselves, man. Ain't gonna be no such thing as no, where you been? Who in your phone? Let me see your phone. Let me see your phone. Ain't gonna be none of that bullshit. All right, you know, you better not be talking to another female. And no, I don't share. Nah, bitch, gonna know in that day and time. Ain't gonna have no problem with being sister wives, man. All right, Isaiah 4 and 1, and in that day 7 women, and it could be more than 7, man. 7 just means completion, man. It says, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. No, it ain't what can you do for me. It ain't gonna be what can you do for me in that day and that time. It ain't gonna be none of that. It's gonna be what I can do for you, the men of the Lord. We the prize, all right? They ain't gonna know they ain't the prize in that day and that time. And it says, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So the only way a woman sins or iniquity can be blocked out if she's dealing with a man of the Lord, man. All right, at the end of the day or whatnot, showing you, you know what I'm saying, a man don't need a woman, but a woman need an Israelite man. All right, no any man, it's Israelite man. It ain't just any Israelite man. Gotta be an Israelite man of the Lord, or Yahawah of the elect, man. At that, man. All right. But with that, man, that's the end of my listen, man. You know what I'm saying? About to go ahead and finish up on my job. And I pray and I hope that this listen was edifying to the body of hopeful elect. And with that, I want to say shalom, shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.